Hi, today we're going to make some homemade chocolate, and we're using coconut oil as the base by iOrgani.com, and we're using some raw organic cacao powder by Pure Natural Miracles in a bag like this, which is also organic. And the other things we have here is vanilla extract that we just poured in here, a pinch of salt. We got the cacao nibs also by Pure Natural Miracles. And we got the agave to make it a little sweeter, because there's absolutely no sugar in this cacao powder. So we have actually 6 tablespoons of cacao powder here that I'm going to pour in here now. And we're going to pour that around. It's a little bit messy sometimes, but we're going to pour that around and or stir it so that we can make a nice little thick sauce out of this, so to speak. And just going to give this a good little stir here. You'll probably see it splatter a little bit, but that's part of the job. So now that I kind of pour that in and I think pretty much got the lumps out of there, let's give it a good little stir. Then I will do the vanilla extract, put that in here, and we'll do the pinch of salt, get all of that in as well. And I will do the agave, put that in here as well. It's a little bit messy this, but it'll work. I'll put this over here, and then you can also add some cacao nibs just to give it a little bit crunchiness. So let's put this over here. Then I stir this together as well, and now I'm going to do the little bit more messy part to get it over actually in a regular ice tray that we use to pour this in. I'm going to grab one of the little handlers here so that I don't I can hold it steadily, and I'll try this the best I can. And then I'm just going to pour this over here, and you do I think about 1 teaspoon or so in each, so you'll see this be a little messier. I may pour a little too much, but let's see how I'm doing here. You could also add hot sauce to this if you wanted to, if you want to spice it up a little bit. And since this is coconut oil that melts at 76 degrees Fahrenheit, you would actually have to keep this in your fridge. And when we prepare them, we actually will put them in the freezer real quickly. As you can see, I've probably been a little bit more generous to some of the first ones I made here, so I won't have exactly 12, but that's okay. You can add a little bit more. We actually used half a cup of coconut oil for this one, and we used 6 tablespoons of cacao powder, like I mentioned, 2 tablespoons of vanilla extract, we did 1 pinch of salt, and we did 2 tablespoons of agave. And so that's pretty much the recipe, just so you have a nice sense of that. So this is what we're now going to take and put in the freezer, and we'll come back again and show you how these came out, and so you can see for yourself. Okay, thank you for watching. Alright, so we're back. We put this ice tray in the freezer for about 15 minutes, so I'm wiggling it a little bit like this just to kind of get the edges loose. Now I'm going to go for one of the bigger pieces. I just take a knife and I pry in like here, and here I got the wonderful chocolate piece out that is just yummy and full of healthy stuff. This is actually healthy chocolate, very good for you. That has coconut oil, raw organic cacao nibs, raw organic cacao powder. I added a little bit of vanilla extract, as well as organic blue agave, and a pinch of salt, and the cacao nibs. And so that's what we do. We go like this and just kind of get them loose, and I will put them in a little jar. You can see it's not too hard to get them loose here, and then I will put them in this little glass jar that I have here. You can see some of the liquid comes loose at the bottom a little bit. Maybe that's because I need to mix it a little bit better on this at the end. So I think that you see the first ones are just fine. So that's a little tip right there. You always learn when you do these things. And I put them in here now, just nicely, and and serve it to guests. So I would basically leave this whole jar or container in the fridge to serve to people and guests that comes over. And here you go. You got the wonderful chocolate nibs, raw and organic and extremely healthy. So just to go over the recipe again, we have half a cup of coconut oil by iOrgani. We have 6 tablespoons of cacao, raw organic cacao powder, and 2 teaspoons of vanilla extract and 1 pinch of salt. And then we have 2 tablespoons of the agave sweetener to give it a little bit extra sweetness, because there's absolutely no sugar in the cacao nibs and the raw organic cacao powder. So these are actually extremely healthy for you. So now you can serve it to your kids and your friends and yourself too, and it's just, they just taste fantastic. So I'm going to have one here right now. Fantastic. And it has that little crunchiness of the cacao nibs in there, and a little bit of that kick from the salt. And another thing that I mentioned earlier, you could add a couple of drops of hot sauce in here too if you want to give it a little interesting taste. It's just fantastic to eat. I love snacking on these, and it's really good for you. Well, thanks for watching. Enjoy.